Hello, I'm Alice Jaco. I love board game and especially Euro games, and I'm prospecting for them, especially for the Essen Spiel fair, which I love, in which I will be going. And I also love this. The part where you have one time in the year where you are really excited about everything which is going on, and this is this time of the year nearly, because the fair is in 2 months, but we have plenty of time to prepare, and there is a lot to look about. So one way to look about this is in a Board Game Geek. There is an Essen preview where nearly every release is indicated at term. For now, there is only 500 game, but more will be coming, and some won't be announced, but most of the game will be there at some point. So I'm scrolling through that, I'm scrolling through different news, and I try to find games that I'm interested about and that have rules or information available. And today it's the case for Age of Automaton. So Age of Automaton is a Thai game by Vatcharis Thanomsub. Sorry, I'm very bad with pronouncing names. And English, I'm also sorry for that. Which already published quite a lot of games, but I don't know them. And the publisher is a new Thai publisher, which is releasing 3 games. I don't know if this one is an Essen release, but these 2 are. And Connect seems to be a really nice run and write game. I need to read more about this very soon. So, Age of Automaton. This is a worker placement game. I love worker placement. And worker selection action, where your workers are goods that are temporary goods. You don't use them for very long. Just one action and then they disappear. Thematically, yes, we are in the future, we are running factories, and this factory will build automaton that will help you build more automaton, and this automaton will be sent either to scrap or to outer space to look for more resources after they've been used. So each person has his factory or player board in front of them, and in this player board are presented the 8 actions of the game. So there is different phases on the game, but action phase is the main phase, and the other one are just small little things that will adjust. Okay, so I will start by describing the action, I think. So what are the actions of the game and how does the game work? So each turn you have 3 or 4, each round you have 3 or 4 actions. So the first 3 rounds you have 3 actions, and the last 2 you have 4 actions. There is 5 rounds total. So you take one of your markers, you select one action amongst the 8 that you don't already have a marker on it. You can only do each action once per round, and you cannot have done the same action in the same column. So if I already did an equipment action, I won't be able to do the assembling action on the same round. Usually there is a way to go around that. So I'm putting my marker in one action, and then I will do this action. The light gray action, which are minor action, maybe resource action, taking things, you can do it just like that. The top action, you need to have some available automaton, so workers already built on you on the global technology track. The dice in front of you are not worker, so these dice represent worker, automaton worker, but these are the ones which are not yet fabricated. So I will start by this light gray action. So the first one is funding. So you will receive some coins. So 3 coins as a basis, plus 1 coin per engineer. And most of this light gray action depends of your engineers. The engineers depends on your reputation. So there is a reputation track here on the board, and you can move up in this track. And the farther you move, the more engineer you have, from 0 to 3. So funding will give you 0 to 6 coins according to your reputation level. Not equipment, sorry. Assembling will work a little the same. You will build new automaton, and this will depend on the number of your engineer. So, but you come from a basis of one automaton worker of level 1, but this can be of higher level. In the game, I didn't explain this section yet, but you will be able to have this kind of improved design for your automaton. The level of the dice you are created when you are doing an assembly action is 1 plus the number of improved parts of an automaton. So if I have 2 of these cards, it will be a level 3 worker, and this is 4 max. So I'm taking a dice and put it in the right face in the right level, just for help me track it. And then I will be able maybe to have some extra automaton worker depending of my engineers. So I will create 1 level worker as many times as I have engineer, if I have any dice in my reserve. So this is assembling. Then I will describe this last section, purchasing. So purchasing, you are taking the same resources that are available this turn at the market. So here is 1 of each, but it could be some other repartition. And then you will roll for resources. You will roll 1 die for each engineer that you have. So up to 3 dice to get some extra resources. So there is a part of randomness on these resources. I think you have quite a lot of resources. I'm not very sure. I didn't play the game. I just read the rule. And there is some possibilities to have flexibility to exchange it later. You stock these resources and you cannot have more than 10 of them. So if you have more than 10, then you have to discard immediately to go back to 10. The last gray action is sponsorship. So this is just claiming first player next turn, or second or third. You cannot be first twice in a row. And take 1 of these sponsorship tile. This tile will be an immediate bonus, for example 1 worker of level 1 and 1 coin, or 1 point sent to roll for the resource. Okay, so this is the basic action, and the other one are actions that require you to have a worker available, and that will work with worker placement. So I will describe them on the board because they happen on the board. So for this action, you will have 2 or 3 available spots in a given action, and you will need to have an available die and place it on 1 available spot. With 2 or 3 players, you will have less action. With 2 players, you have 1 fixed block, and with 3 players, it depends on the runs. So when you place a worker somewhere, his level matter, and the action you are doing, of course, matter. So I will first describe R&D, so research and development. All of the 3 actions here are working in the same way. If you are putting a level 1 action die, you can only take the first card. If you have a level 2, you can take any of the first 2, level 3 any of the first 3, and level 4 you can take any card, in the good row, of course. So I'm placing a die here and I'm taking the card. Here it's for free, you just have to place a dice, and this will enable you to improve 1 of your die from available die, still available worker, to 1 or 2 level, and to gain some relationships. Relationships are in this part of the board. This is a table when for each relation you can advance here, and this will give you a multiplier at the end of the game for certain category of things. So I will get some relationships and some improvement of die. Moreover, I will win something depending on the level of my die, and this will be the case for every of this main action. Here I have 1 coin or 1 resources for each level of my die. At the first turn you can only take coins, next you choose what you take. So this will give me resources. Then here there is the sales action. So sale action, the bonus will be to take coins according to the level of your die. You can select card according to the level of your die, and this will give you relationship. I just talked about this. Point at the end of the game, kind of obviously, and reputation. So you will be able to improve your marker on these tracks that will give you more engineers. This will cost you some resources, so you have to spend resources to do that, according to what is written on the card. And equipment, which is the last card action, there is still one main action, is taking one of these equipment cards. So the bonus will be 1 point per level of your die here. You will take a card, this will cost you resources, and this will give you one of these cards. So if I show you these cards, sorry, I lost my page. Here. These are less blurry equipment action. So when you take one of these cards, you can take one of your still available worker, so you had to build it before that, to do one main action. So this is research and development action. You will put the die on the card so it won't take a spot on the main board, and do the action as well as if you had done it during your main action. Then this card will be tucked under your player mat. You choose in which column it will be tucked, and it will give you two things. First, it will be a reduction for every other equipment in the future, so here one yellow reduction. And second, it will be an extra bonus when you are doing an action in the corresponding column. You will get here one resource at random, or in a special case 2. So this is the idea of this action. And then we have the prospect action. So the prospect action will let you go up these tracks where you are trying to find things. You will find relationship, coins, and victory points, I think. And you will get resources. So the idea is that I put a worker of a certain level there, and this will help me move up the track. So if I put here level 3 dice, I will anyway throw 3 weight die, no matter the level of my worker, and I will try to reach to be under the level of my worker, like in Successful D&D and things like this. So with I throw my 3 dice and I see how much I have success, so how much die are lesser or equal to 3, and this is the number of steps I will progress on this track. You have a way to modify that with money and things. If you don't like roll dice rolling, this doesn't seem to be a strong part of the game. So when you go up this track, sometimes you have to pay or have already some things. If you don't have them, you are just stuck before that, and you will win some bonuses for increasing these tracks. Then you will get resources. For example, if I choose to go up on the red track, it doesn't matter if I indeed advance or not, I will receive resources, and I will receive as much resources than the level of my die, and here you can choose different color depending on which track you are moving. Okay, so this is it for the main actions. There is other things that you could do at your turn. First, there is this secondary action. So this is no, not this. This is a modifier for the main action. So the first one is overtime. I said that in each column you can only play one action each round. This is true, but you can overcome this limitation by paying fiability and coins. How is fiability working? Everybody have a track on this board. They are starting with maximum fiability, and this will be decreasing during the game. If you are already at the minimum, you can still do it for money. And if you want to do the same action, in action is the same rule, you already played this one, you can do it by spending 1 fiability and 2 coins. Sometimes you will win something by decreasing on this track, but you can never increase back. Overbuild will allow you to have a new worker when you need it for 1 fiability and 3 coins. Overclock will allow you to improve one worker when you need it to for 1 fiability and 2 coins. And Overdrive will help you do the prospect action. So when you do a prospect action, you can spend 1 fiability and as many coins as you want to reduce each of the dice you just throw of this many points. So if I pay 1 fiability and 3 coins, I can do a -3 on every of my die. So this is a special action, and there is a free action. So free action are linked to the assistants. I didn't talk about the assistants yet. So you have assistants at the beginning of the game. You draft a few of them. Then you have them in your hand, and you can play them whenever you want. For that, you need to have some resources in your stocks. Here, for example, 1 red, 5 blue, and 1 yellow. Then you are allowed to lay this card down, but you don't need to spend anything. Once it's in your player zone, you can tap it to gain this here its bonus once. This is a one-time bonus, and if you want later, you can trash it definitively to gain some resources and be able to do one of the fiability action I just talked beforehand for free, so you don't pay any money, but you still have to pay the fiability. When you trash one of these assistants, the nice thing is that it doesn't just go away, it goes on a common market, and these are assistants which can be activated by anyone at any time. You have to use one of your assistant marker to put on one of these guys, and you will do their power. You only have 6 of this marker for the whole game, so this will give you the flexibility you need at some point, I think, but you cannot do it as many times as you want, as free as you want. There is 2 neutral guys here at the beginning of the game. Okay, so that's it for actions. So outside of the action phase, there is some little other things that are going on. So first, in the beginning of the round, you just throw what will be in the market that will be available to get when doing the purchasing action. So this is very minor. Then everybody is doing their action. Then you have a donation phase. So this will enable you to go up this track. This track can give you points at the end of the game, but it can give you also a reputation during the game. You are allowed to spend some resources and coins. 1 resource or 1 coin will give you 1 step, but you are limited of how much you can spend each round. The limit here is 2 plus the number of different tracks you advance on prospect. For example, here pink has advanced on the 2 first tracks, so he can give a maximum of 4 coins or resources to advance at the end of the round on this track. Okay, so this is the donation phase. Then there is noded phase, which is quite quick too. It doesn't happen on the first one, but coming from the second one, you can avoid it every time. There is a marker there. You will throw 1 die and you will advance this many steps. So you don't know by advance if it will be slow or quick, but you know what are the next audits. You don't know when the auditor is coming. When there is an audit, for example, if the marker comes to the last or further than the last spot of this card, you will be evaluated according to the fact that you should have 3 automaton ready to be used in the technology track. If you don't have them, you will take a -3 token, and it will make you lose 3 points at the end of the game. And that's it. So there is a little tension about when this will be activated. There is level A and level B cards on this. Then there is a cleanup phase. So the cleanup phase is very basic. So you return your worker to your stock. You don't have them ready for the next turn. You remove the oldest card of each row and slide it to the left. As when you take a card, you also slide it to the left. Maybe I didn't say that. And then, if your fiability is still on the max sector, you will win one victory point. You can have a few steps done, but no more. Then you go to the next round according to the new turn order. So basically everybody stay in position, but the people who are claimed first or second place go before. And that's it for 5 rounds. At the end of the 5 rounds, we'll score points. So the first thing I didn't say is these achievements. Here, on the side of the board, you have an achievement zone. For example, here, this requires you to have 7 resources of the same type and 3 coins. When you have that, you can claim this achievement. You don't need to spend anything, and you will win 2 points and immediately get level 1 automaton worker. If you are the first one to do that, furthermore, you will take 1 good or 1 coins bonus. This is right on the board. This is a little blur here, but it seems very visible on the material. So this is it for achievements, but achievement will score you again for this relationship part. So how is this relationship part working? This is a multiplier of points. So for example, the first line will be a multiplier of points for your achievements. So the more here, if you are on this spot, it's a 2 times the number of achievements you reach will give you points at the end of the game. The second line is for assistant you still have in front of you, and the last line is for fiability. So if you did not spend a lot of fiability to do this special action, this modifier, you will have score points for this last row if you advance enough on them. The assistant still in your player area will give you some points, and you will score points for tracks like these tracks. So reputation and donation will give you points at the end of the game, plus your sales cards. And that's it. So for me, this seems like a very interesting game. It's clearly a worker placement game with resource management and things like that. The system of making workers and having to spend them, selection with different columns, it's not something totally new, but maybe it's fresh enough. I really want to try that. I want to know what it gives. My only concern is it a little more too much calculus to exactly know how much point this will give me compared to this, or is the development part enough to be really entertaining? This doesn't seems to be a very heavy game, more maybe a little heavier than a midweight, but not so much. And I want to try it, so I'm hoping to play it in 2 months, a little more than 2 months, maybe 3. The game will be presented at Essen, and it should be for sales at Essen too. Okay, so see you soon. This is all for today. And I hope this was understandable, at least a little. And it's fun for me to do this video. You can put some comments if you want, and I will try to respond to them. And as good as I can, because I did not play the game. Please subscribe to the channel if you like what I do. This will help me continuing to do it, to be motivated. And that's it. Bye.